Hey guys, Josh here, and I am embarrassed. There's this thing going on right now called Steam Next Fest, where you can try tons of demos for upcoming games, and one of these games is Trade Tales. I had been looking forward to this game for years now, and it's promising to be a farming sim where not only can you farm, but you can also run your own shop, customize it, expand it, build factories to automate your production, and so much more. With some of its ideas, such as the ability to buy multiple plots of land, along with its very cute art style, it reminds me a lot of Harvest Moon Magical Melody, one of my favorite games of all time. It is certainly ambitious, and I've always been a bit cautious with these projects, but still, I was excited. Last year, the developer reached out with an offer to include me as a special NPC in the game. They drafted this character, recreated my gaming setup in the game, and I even made a video sharing the good news. If this game ends up being bad or something like that, I will be so embarrassed because my character is in it. So hopefully it will be an amazing game. I was genuinely so excited, not only for the collab aspect of it all, but because it seemed like a very promising game. But then, I got to actually play it. Big disclaimer, this demo is an alpha build, which means it is early in development. Many things are likely to change, but the foundations are there, and based on my experience, let's say, I don't feel confident getting my house built on these foundations. I typically avoid making entire videos on early builds as things can turn around. I always want every game to stand a chance. I don't want people to dismiss it or the developer feeling discouraged so early, but because I have my name attached to this project in some way, I want to be fully transparent on the situation and show you why I'm changing my mind on Trade Tales. I'll walk you through my first 45 minutes or so with the demo, give you my first impressions. Keep in mind again, this is not a full review. Maybe it can help decide if you'd like to try the demo or not for yourself, see if you like it. But whenever the game releases, I recommend you look for a proper review at that time. If you find this video interesting or entertaining at any point, feel free to leave a like or a hype to support the channel. And now let's dive into it. Forgive me as my face cam is on the footage for the first few minutes, since I forgot to record the gameplay separately when I was streaming this game, but that will get fixed right after the character creation. Speaking of character creation, the title screen says Trade Tales Character Creator, so I went into this a bit confused, not sure if there would be any actual gameplay, but there is. I enter my first name, last name, and nickname, which feels a bit redundant. It is a video game, you can just use a nickname as your first name if you want. But anyway, I then pick my gender, which determines the body type. But for the demo, only female is available, so I go with that. Then I select my pronouns and move on to the next page. Here I can change my skin color and my chest size, ranging from cherries to watermelons. I'm not the one coming up with this metaphor. These are the terms the game is using. Then there's a good amount of hairstyles, eyes, clothes, tattoos, makeup, lots of colors, overall a fairly good character creator. This is my character. I have no clue what I was going for. Like I said, I was under the impression it was just going to be a character creator demo. I was not ready for the commitment, but here we are, let's go to the farm. There is an in-game disclaimer telling us that it is a demo, it's not fully polished, there might be bugs, that's to be expected. Then there is a long list of features that are currently available. At first glance, it looks like there's a lot. Basically, most of the farm activities are there, and even managing our own shop, but we won't make it that far. For now, I can walk very slowly, I can jump, and if I hold down Shift, I can run. There is no setting that I can find to toggle running, and the walking speed is way too slow for anything practical, so I will have to be holding down Shift the entire time I'm playing. Anyway, here's Brianna. She runs the veggies and seeds shop, and she gives me a few seeds to get started. I can swap between 4 hotbars, it's convenient. There's one for tools, a second one for consumables, a third one for items, which are all of the seeds for now, and a last one for building and decor. Before I get to the farming though, I get distracted by this red car in front of my house, and if there is one way to make me love your game instantly, it's by giving me a vehicle to drive. Sadly, we can't actually drive the car here, but it's okay, it teleports me to this city that looks a lot like modern Japan. The stop signs are in Japanese, some shops as well, but others are in English, so I'm not too sure where I'm supposed to be. We also have periodic establishments like McDonald's, Starbucks, 7-Eleven, and I appreciate the touch of humor. Something else that is funny is the cars. Like in any big city, there are tons of cars in the streets, but here, they are not moving, which quickly breaks the immersion, and maybe it's for the best as they can't even agree on which side of the road they should be driving. Besides all of these cars facing different directions, we have lots of buildings, but none of them can be entered in the current build of the game. The only thing I can find to interact with is this egg hunting challenge. I have 150 seconds to find and collect at least 30 eggs. On my first attempt, I spent a good chunk of that time trying to find, again, a setting to run without having to hold down shift as it is getting tedious. I managed to find a settings menu in this in-game smartphone, but it turns out it's only to change the screen brightness of the in-game smartphone, not what I need and not sure when I would ever need that. There's also this tutorial screen with the list of all the controls, but I can't change them, so also not what I need. Then I find this pause menu where I can quit the game or wishlist it on Steam, also not the menu that I need. Before giving up, I open my bag, I click on the map, and here's an AI-generated map of Cloverdale. This map doesn't have any actual information, I can't interact with it, I can't even recognize the area my farm is supposed to be in, as it is not an accurate representation of the world. I reached out to the developer after playing, and they have confirmed to me that it is indeed AI generated, but that it is a placeholder and will not be in the full game. They still made the conscious decision to put it here. It doesn't serve any functional purpose, and honestly doesn't leave the best first impression. They could have at least done like they did with this settings tab, and all of the other tabs in this menu which are there, they're visible but not clickable. There's not even a disclaimer telling you they're just not available for the demo, they simply don't work at all. In conclusion, there are no settings right now, so I will have to keep holding down shift to run, and the only tabs that work are the bag and the useless AI generated map. Back to the egg hunt, I get distracted by fellow content creator Kenzalone, who is doing the same loop again and again around the city. This cat dancing frantically, he's probably having a lot more fun than I am, and these two people who have been doing the same dance over and over again in front of a food truck. Needless to say, I failed the egg hunt, so I give it another try. This time, I'm a bit more focused on winning, but despite stealing 3 eggs from this homeless guy, time runs out and I'm 2 eggs short from victory. It's time to go back home. It doesn't feel like it, but it's already past 6 p.m. That's when I meet this merchant in front of my house. His name is Zahir, and maybe we've met in another life, but as far as I know, it's our very first time talking. And he says, "Good to see you again, Josh." Zahir sells a wide variety of items, from umbrellas to loperamide, which is a fast-acting capsule that calms overactive bowels. Take when nature. I think you get the idea, but you will have to complete the sentence yourself, because the item description does not fit inside of the description box. I will pass on the medication for now, it's time to farm. I start clearing my yard as it is very messy. I chop some trees, cut some grass. The camera is not always ideal, but overall it works relatively well. As I do all of this hard work, however, my stamina is going down and I'm also getting hungry. That is when I realize I have more needs than in a typical farming sim. It's closer to a life sim like The Sims. So there's bladder, hunger, hygiene, sickness, stamina, and health. Quite a bit to keep track of, but I do like the idea. Looking for food, I open this chest that's in front of my house, and there I find some apples, bananas, a sprinkler, a bottle of cologne, and some loperamide in case I ever get overactive bowels. I put some cologne to avoid having to take a shower. I eat 2 bananas and I get back to work. I till the soil, put the sprinkler down, and it disappears. It's no longer in my inventory, but it's also not where I just placed it. The sprinkler is gone forever. Fine, I water the seeds by hand. I have to fight with the aiming, but I manage to get it done. I have some energy left, so I go mining for a little bit. Then I realized it's already past midnight. I'm confused because there are still people walking outside. It is just as bright as it was in the morning, but we're apparently in the middle of the night. I thought we were in Japan earlier, but maybe we're in Greenland during a midnight sun, who knows. Again, I know it's a demo, I'm aware. I'm sure that in the full game there will be a proper day and night cycle, but it looks very messy to release a demo publicly like that when such a core feature of a farming sim is not functional. Before I go to bed, here's my house. It is fully furnished. In my bedroom, there's a computer that seems to be live streaming a game that plays itself automatically. I have a cat that is not moving at all. I hope it's doing fine. I hop into my bed and we jump from Thursday to Tuesday. I don't know how that happened. Maybe all of this is just a bad dream, so I get right back to bed. And now it's Wednesday, so maybe it's only the first day that was bugged. I can hear a storm outside. I'm excited to check it out. But first, I have to use the toilet, take a shower. Then I leave the bathroom, try to eat some mushroom that's in my bag. But the prompt to interact with the shower is not going away from my screen. So as I press E, my character walks all the way back to the shower, takes a second shower, and I can't cancel it. After that, the prompt is still there, so now as I attempt to leave the house, my character tries again to walk straight to the shower, but gets stuck on a wall in the living room. Luckily, there is a button that allows me to get unstuck, which is always appreciated, especially in a demo. This brings me outside and it's another beautiful sunny day. It looks just like Thursday night. I try to water my crops, but for some reason, nothing is happening. I check my mail and there's a letter from the mayor. It comes with an umbrella with his face on it, as well as 300 coins for me to spend. As I walk around with my umbrella showing my love for a mayor I never met, I look at the clock with the weather. I'm reminded that it should be raining right now, but it is obviously not. What's going on? I return inside, come back out. Now we still have the same blue sky, but at least I can see some raindrops, I can hear them, and it suddenly makes sense why I couldn't water my crops earlier. Also, my health is at 0 because I apparently spent too much time under the rain without an umbrella. I'm still alive though, so I don't know if it actually matters or if there's any penalty. And somehow my maximum stamina increased from 100 to 108. On top of that, if you look closely, you can see that the stamina bar is glitching. So far, I'm experiencing a lot more bugs than enjoyable moments. By the way, I am the only person with an umbrella. Here is Brianna right outside of her shop, telling me how beautiful of a day it is. While we're here, let's take this opportunity to check inside her shop. And oh, there's Brianna again. You don't need to figure out the schedule of NPCs in this game. They're just everywhere all at once. I don't buy anything from her though. I eat some fruits I already have, and I spend my money at this bookshop where I get Crafting Book 1. This also feels like The Sims, so my character reads a book, I wait for this bar to fill up, and at the end, I gain some knowledge, which in this case means crafting recipes for a chest and some pots. I painstakingly craft a few pots. They do not come in stacks, I have to craft them one by one, having to wait a few seconds between each, and then I place a few in front of my house just to see how it works, and it works. I also have 15 fences in my bag, so might as well use them while I'm here decorating. I try placing them here also just to see how it works, but plot twist, it does not work. Maybe it's too close to the house or something, so I go near my field. There is nothing blocking the way, yet it's still not working. After a lot of trying, I notice I only have one fence left. It turns out they're behaving just like my sprinkler earlier. They disappear as I place them. So I can't really decorate, there's not much to explore as most areas are blocked off. I go to the city one last time in hopes of finding something to do. Here's shop 4, shop 2. Who knows where shop 1 and 3 are? But here's Miss Bubbles waiting in front of an Italian restaurant. Here are 2 friends from earlier dancing in front of the food truck. There's nothing new to see here, I'm leaving. I'm leaving disappointed as this demo did not demonstrate much of the unique features this game promised, and the features that are included are either underwhelming or completely broken. Again, I know it's a demo, things can change and I want to be forgiving, as this is made by a single developer, but I've seen this pattern time and time again, and as much as I would love to be proven wrong, I'm not very confident in this game's ability to live up to its promises. I already discussed this with the developer to let them know, but I will no longer be an NPC in this game. Even if the game was to get better, the fact that the developer willingly released a demo in this state To me, it shows a lack of care. Things like the AI generated map just also don't sit right with me, even as a placeholder, and if I cannot recommend playing the demo, I can't in good conscience promote the game or have my name attached to it. This brings me to a bigger problem I noticed, with developers really wanting to be a part of Steam Next Fest, doing everything to rush and just get a demo ready on time, and I truly don't get it. Sure, you are part of the event, a lot of people will see your game, try your demo, but you only have a single chance of making a first impression, and this is not a good one. Every time there is a Steam Next Fest, I find myself removing games from my wishlist more than I add. I truly hope people will enjoy this game. More than likely, I will give it a second chance when it fully releases, maybe it will be amazing, but based on my experience of playing the demo and just following the development throughout the years, comparing the patterns to other similar projects we've had in the past, I'm worried. I have a part of responsibility because I know some of you backed the game on Kickstarter since I mentioned it in multiple videos, and because of my character. At the time, there was no playable build for me to test, and I should have waited longer before making that decision. That being said, I want to make it clear that I respect the choice of other content creators who might remain featured in the game, as we all have different expectations and experiences. To end the video on a brighter note, I was pleasantly surprised with the demo of Star Sand Island. I wasn't sure what to think of it at first, and translations are a bit rough at the moment, but the gameplay itself feels polished and satisfying. It looks pretty, even though it can be a bit demanding for your PC. There is a lot to do, I'm having fun, and even though it might not be for everyone, I can at least say that the demo is worth trying. Let me know if you've played any demo during this Steam Next Fest. What do you think of Steam Next Fest in general? What do you think of Trade Tales? Leave a like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all in the next video.